It's March 4th. The days are getting noticeably longer as we get closer to the equinox, which is the first day of spring, and that's on March 21st or March 20th. I don't remember exactly the day. And that is the day when the sun is shining directly over the equator. The tilt of the earth is pretty much, the earth is not tilting one way or the other, favoring the north or the south pole, pointing towards the sun, for lack of a better way of explaining it. So we're still in winter. It's getting to be late winter, and today is very much a spring day. It's in the 60s, or will be in the 60s. I'm pretty sure it's 60 degrees or more right now, and the breeze is blowing, and we've had a lot of rain, so we're starting to get a little bit of spring-like weather. And you can see pollen. There's a lot of pollen in the air. Just started last night, so no, it doesn't mean we won't get some cold. We still may get some cold. But the changing of the seasons is something that really touches human beings and all animals. The animals start to behave differently. They feel the spring coming, and it's a time of year to start doing something different. Soon for the animals, food will become plentiful, and humans still have that sense as well. And so there's certain things that trigger certain behaviors in the springtime, which is interesting to think about, because it's not exactly well, I guess it is, but it's not exactly the point of being influenced by your subconscious in many other ways, but it is somewhat of a subconscious type of thing. It's probably also related to some of our more primitive instincts. But the subconscious is a big subject, and it's most of your brain. And that's very interesting, because people want proof. Well, give me proof that my subconscious influences the majority of my behaviors, or give me proof that my subconscious does this or that or the other. But what you need to kind of keep in mind is your subconscious didn't just come into existence and then without some programming. That your subconscious develops over your life, and it particularly develops when you're very young. And that's from all the influences around you, the people you're around, the things that you see, what you witness, and then partially also the way that interacts with certain genetic predispositions that we have, and all kinds of things. But when you dream at night, you're falling down the slope of consciousness, and so when you dream, that's your subconscious mind dreaming, and you're in the dream state, and certain things are naturally triggered in the nervous system to keep you from moving around too much, to keep you from walking or from opening your eyes, and these sorts of things when you're sleeping, as a way to obviously protect us from getting hurt. But some people sleepwalk, and that means they get up out of bed and they don't even know they're getting out of bed, and they go to the refrigerator or go do something, or go outdoors, or just walk around the house and then get back in bed, and they don't ever realize it. And essentially what that is that's the same thing as hypnosis, pretty much. So when people get hypnotized, that's very much proof of how strong your subconscious mind is, because in hypnosis, you can actually be in hypnosis you can actually get to a state of observing yourself, like say maybe your hand or something being still under your subconscious influence. So the hypnotist will hypnotize you, and so that you can be awake and watch, say, your hand still being hypnotized, and he can give you certain commands, and your hand will just do those things, or your foot, or your whatever. You maybe even something you might say, I'm not sure, but the point is that while you're young, you need to practice things. You need to be aware that you're learning from your environment, and it's going to affect you in your future. So you need to work on practices to be observant of your environment, and then to also try to be consciously observant of what you're hearing and what you're watching, and how when you're young, the unfortunate thing is a lot of times you're stuck in a place doing something that you can't really remove yourself from. So if people are doing things around you that you don't like, or you don't think are a quality time for you, you need to try to be aware that you can have your own set of things that you want to work on or think about that are productive, and practices like journaling, just repeating things very strongly, not just like casually, but very strongly saying things to yourself, like prayer. Prayer is a way of programming your subconscious too, but people need to know how to pray. Praying is not about wishing for something. Praying is about observing what's going on in the world around you, and using this conversation that you're having with God to help you see the right direction. So that's also part of your subconscious, your conscious interacting with your subconscious. But focusing on things and having a practice. When we repeat things over and over and over again, that's eventually also changing our subconscious. So if you want to get really good at something, you want to learn something, you want to set goals, if you have practices, you can build a program in your brain to help guide you in the right direction when it's important, when you're not even aware of those things. So going to bed at night, I think if you were to think about back in the days when people lived outdoors or lived without much modern technology, when they would go to bed in the evenings, they were hearing the sounds of nature and these kinds of things. They didn't have televisions playing and this sort of thing. But that time of night when you're falling asleep is a critical time where you don't know what's coming into your mind. And if you're over and over and over again being exposed to things during that time of night, you have to be careful about what those things are. So if there's a television playing, or there's people talking, or this or that or the other too much during that time of night, your brain is going to pick up those things, because this has been proven that we can shift. They can shift by watching brain activity and what that person is exposed to during the period of time, especially right as they're falling asleep. They can shift what that brain is going to focus on or think about during the night. And the nighttime brain processes that are dreaming and everything else is much about consolidating experiences from the day before and trying to, kind of make sense of it all, I guess. Or that's how people really wake up in the morning after they've studied for something the day before and know and do better when they test themselves in the morning when they wake up than before they went to bed at night, because their brain had time to process that information. So one of the nice things about modern technology is there's a counter technology to the interference technology. So there are things that you can, if you need to listen to, or I know your mama used to make use of white noise. That's not a bad thing either, to have just a fan going or something like that. That kind of drowns out the noises around you. But you can also listen to certain kinds of programs that are designed to help you sleep better and help your mind function correctly during the night, while we're in this modern environment with all these things around us. But your subconscious mind is a real thing. In fact, it's the majority of your brain processes are in the subconscious, and hypnotism and sleepwalking and those things are proof of the power of the subconscious mind, if you're looking for proof. And so it's a very real thing, and so much of what we're doing is being guided by those processes. It's very, very important. And so I love you, and hope you have a wonderful day.